Rockies' offense is hot right now, coming off a 16-run game against the Padres. Rockies ended up losing 2 of 3 games in that series, taking the final game on Sunday. Rockies will face the Royals today, who are 4th place in the American League Central, some interleague action. Rockies and Royals have about the same record. Royals don't have to worry about last place in their division, though, because the Tigers are an unsightly 21-57. They've certainly separated themselves. Chichi Gonzalez needs a good outing, making his 15th start of the year. 5.40 ERA, 2-6 his record in 68 1/3 innings. Has 49 strikeouts against 26 walks. And the first batter he will face is shortstop Adalberto Mondesi. Does have 15 stolen bases on the year. That's something the Royals do well. It's tied for first place in the American League for Mondesi. First pitch is swung on and yanked foul and out of play. So interleague action. Rockies seeing the Royals here at Coors Field to start the week. Then we'll go to Minnesota to face the first place in the AL Central Twins. Then the first place in the NL Central Pirates on that road trip. There's a bunt, and it's going to roll foul. Of course, last time the Rockies saw the Pirates was just on the last homestand here at Coors Field. Rockies swept Pittsburgh. We'll see how things go at PNC Park. So Rockies are 33-44, still last place in the National League West. Padres extending their lead in the National League West with their 2 of 3 wins from the Rockies. There's a swing and a foul out of play. 60 degrees with cloudy skies. Wind is blowing in here at Coors Field this evening. One-two pitch is going to miss outside. But a real offensive explosion for the Rockies yesterday, led by Sam Hilliard's 3-homer game. There's a swing and a miss, and Chichi Gonzalez picks up his first out of the game, and it's a strikeout. So Sam Hilliard ended up raising his slugging percentage up to .532. That's about a 200-point increase. Not a whole lot of at-bats on the season for Hilliard, so that is what a 3-homer game can do for you. Pitch misses low. See, Garrett Hampson suffered a bit of an injury the other day, a couple games ago, sliding into second base where he was caught stealing, but he was just day-to-day, and he's back in there ready to go today. Hampson getting the start at short today. Story's getting the day off. Chichi shakes, gets the sign he likes. The 2-0 is in there for a called strike. Home plate umpire Kenny Jansen, Mike Fillmore at first, Rusty Valentine at second, and Jerry Hillsdale is at third. The 2-1 is swung on and pulled foul. Swinging a foul away. Chichi hitting 95 miles per hour. Two-two pitch is going to miss just a bit outside. Jorge Soler is waiting on deck. He's got 22 home runs on the year. Actually has cooled off a bit, believe it or not, from his pace that he was on. Hit a ton of home runs early. There's a swing and a miss, and Chichi Gonzalez has 2 strikeouts to start his evening.
The right fielder, number 12, Jorge Soler.
And Jorge Soler will try to be the first Royal to put the ball in play. First pitch misses high. Soler, member of the Chicago Cubs for the beginnings of his career, and there was a lot of Soler power to be heard of. There's a foul out of play. Ended up being traded over to the Royals as the Cubs were running out of places for him to play. 1-1 from Gonzalez is going to miss low, and it's a hitter's count now on Soler. That's swung on and lifted in the air towards left field. David Dahl camping under it. And he'll finally make the catch when this one comes down, and that'll retire the side. 1-2-3 inning for Chichi Gonzalez. That's always a good start. We go to the bottom of the first inning. Dahl, Murphy, Blackman due up against Heath Philmeyer and the Royals. Here's Heath Philmeyer, 16th start of the year, 5-6. His record has a 5.74 ERA. In 73 2/3 innings, has 47 strikeouts and 41 walks. That's not the greatest of ratios. 86 hits allowed, his whip at 172. So Rockies offense certainly was firing on all cylinders yesterday. We'll be trying to do so again. Here's David Dahl, 256 on the year, 308 is on base percentage. OPS of 774 as his slugging is continuing to climb up there a little bit. Had a very good day yesterday, hitting a home run. First pitch from Philmeyer here is taken for a strike. Royals 34 45, again 4th place in the American League Central. Don't have to worry too much about finishing last, at least right now. Tigers seem to be doing a good job of handling that. Philmeyer's 0-1 is swung on and missed. Quickly 0-2 on Dahl. And swing and a miss, so on 3 pitches, Philmeyer strikes out Dahl, and there's one away.
Batting second, the first baseman,
Daniel Murphy will be the batter. Dahl and Murphy both very cold for the last couple weeks, but over the past week, they've both been really hot. First pitch to Murphy is taken inside, ball 1. 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Murphy hitting .262. 4 homers, 19 driven in, a .307 on base percentage. Working on getting those numbers up there. Has hit righties very well this year. Up around .290 against right-handed pitching. There's a swing and a foul back to the screen. Still working on getting those overall numbers up is Murphy. The 1-1 delivery is swung on and lifted in the air towards right field. Soler's going back on this one. He's at the track, and he will make the catch. That is out number 2. With that, we'll take a look at the Rockies starting lineup. After the left fielder Dahl, first baseman Murphy, batting third, the right fielder Charlie Blackman, batting cleanup the third baseman Nolan Arenado, hitting .340 now, batting fifth at second base Ryan McMahon, batting sixth at shortstop today Garrett Hampson, batting seventh, a 3-homer game yesterday, center fielder Sam Hilliard, batting eighth, the catcher is Drew Butera. Here is Charlie Blackman, who's on a 12-game hitting streak. Slugging .568, has 16 homers, 38 runs batted in. .299 his batting average. And swinging a foul out of play will start off this plate appearance. Things looking good for the Rockies offense as a whole right now. Trevor Story's on a bit of a slide, though he has homered in a couple straight games. He's getting another day off, his second day off in 3 days. They're getting back in there yesterday. Swing and a miss by Blackman, but the rest of the lineup, it's really hard to leave out a lot of guys. You know, you want to get Hampson in there, but you also want to get Hilliard and Dahl in there, and you have to get Blackman in there. There's a pitch inside. So Story is going to be the man who sits today. Swinging a foul out of play. Transaction that occurred before today's game. John Gray was recalled from AAA. A bit of a rough start when he was optioned to Albuquerque, but a couple really good outings, and he looks about ready to return. There's a check swing in. Blackman did not go, according to the third base umpire. The count goes full. Nolan Arenado waiting on deck. And Ryan Castellani was optioned to AAA. We saw him for a few starts, and a few were better than others. Blackman takes a pitch high and outside, and a 2-out walk to him. But Ryan Castellani being optioned, so coming up is John Gray. 4th place in the National League. I'd like to see who's better. Nolan Arenado is batting .340 on the year. 22 home runs, 54 runs batted in, and a .418 on base percentage. Those 22 home runs, first place in the NL. Nolan is being Nolan and then some, I would say, in 2020 through the first half, almost half of the season. First pitch from Philmeyer here is taken for a strike. That's on the outside corner, quickly 0-2 on Arenado. Rockies are rocking the black vests today. That's always a good sign. Swing and a miss. Arenado goes down on 3 pitches, and that will retire the side. 2-out walk to Blackman, but that is the only base runner we've seen for either side so far. We go to the second inning. We are scoreless. Hunter Dozier hitting well right now on a 12-game hitting streak, the Royals' third baseman. Chichi Gonzalez delivers his first pitch. It's going to miss down and in. .299 average on the year for Dozier. No relation to Brian, we just saw in that Padres series. That's in there for a called strike. And the count is level at 1. Chichi's been shaking a few times today, but now he gets the sign he likes. That swung on and missed for strike 2. 93-mile-an-hour fastball up above the zone. Gets Dozier to chase. One-two from Chichi is swung on and fouled the other way. Well, thank you for tuning in to another Purple Rose Sim broadcast. We're here until we find out when spring training is going to start. Spring training 2.0, if it does indeed start. We wait on that. My name is Ben Kuchner-Kavich, and want to let you know that this broadcast is not affiliated with Major League Baseball, MLB The Show 20, or the Colorado Rockies. 1-2 is going to miss low. Two-two pitch. That one's going to miss outside, and the count goes full. Salvador Perez is waiting on deck. I believe he missed all of the 2019 campaign due to injury. Here's a payoff pitch, and it's right in there for a called third strike. Already the third strikeout picked up today by Chichi Gonzalez. And here's Salvador Perez, 225 on the year, 9 home runs. Very free-swinging catcher at the plate, and known for his elite defense more than anything, and really strong arm. He's sitting on 995 career hits, so he's hoping to potentially get to 1,000 in this series. Perez, before missing time due to injury, he played a lot. Back in, I believe it was 2017 when the World Baseball Classic was, he played, that was coming off the year in the World Series in which he played every single game of the postseason, nearly every single game of the regular season. Then he went and played in the World Baseball Classic. There's a fly ball to center field, and Hilliard puts it away, two gone.
The first baseman, number 7, Michael Franco.
For Team Venezuela, and I don't believe it was just that. There was a series also, I believe after the end of the 2016 season. I think it was the Major League Baseball Japan series, and he played in that as well. And that was in 2018. No, it was not. Yes, it was, 2018. And he played there as well, so Salvador Perez was not taking a whole lot of time off. Here's Michael Franco, 2 pitches swung on and fouled out of play. Franco, remember him coming up in the Phillies system. He signed a deal with the Royals this offseason, but he was looking for a time like he could be the next big power hitter, was never able to really materialize that into game action. Getting a chance with the Kansas City Royals, a rebuilding club right now. 1-2 pitch is a check swing, and that one's going to miss in the dirt. And swing and a foul out of play. Swung on and popped up. We'll see if Butera has room. And the former Royal, Drew Butera, makes the catch, and that will retire the side. After an inning and a half, we're scoreless. McMahon, Hampson, Hilliard do up for the Rockies. Ryan McMahon, 21 home runs. That's tied for second place in the National League with Eugenio Suarez. Nolan Arenado's 22 lead the NL. 246 average, 555 slugging percentage on the year for Ryan McMahon. And Heath Philmeyer out for his second inning of work. First pitch is outside, ball one. It's in there for a strike. I want to talk a little bit about, we've been spotlighting some of the players who the Rockies drafted here in the first-year player draft in 2020. Today we want to talk about Jack Blomgren a little bit. Thomas Harding at MLB.com had an article about him. So, words used to describe Blomgren: scrappy, gritty, and immediately I thought, Rockies. He can play all over the field, can Blomgren. But he did hit a little bit as well in 2019 as a sophomore at the University of Michigan. 2-2 pitch coming to McMahon is swung on and lifted in the air towards shallow center. On the run for this one and making the catch is Phillips. Let's look at the defense now for the Royals. Left to right in the outfield, Gordon, Phillips, Soler. Infield corners, it's Dozier and Franco. Adalberto Mondesi and Nicky Lopez are up the middle of the double play combination, and Salvador Perez will be catching for Heath Philmeyer today. Here is Garrett Hampson. Takes first pitch strike. Blomgren is a shortstop by trade, again taken in the 5th round of the 2020 draft by the Rockies. 5'10", 180 pounds, a little bit small on the traditional scouting tools, but he said one thing that not everyone else has that he has is overall competitiveness and the will to win. Hawk Harrelson would love him. And Blomgren said when he steps between those lines, all he cares about is winning, and that's what takes him over the edge. He might not have the loudest tools on the scouting reports, but he thinks he can do everything pretty well. Can run pretty well, can bunt, can make things happen. Said he's a solid defender. In 2019, he hit .314 with 13 extra base hits, had a .417 on base percentage, and had a 33-game hitting streak at one point. Also had a 15-game hitting streak. 9 hits in the College World Series. That lifted the Wolverines up to the finals as Hampson lines one right into the glove of the third baseman, Dozier, for out number 2. And he reached base Blomgren did, in all 15 games of the 2019 season for U of M before the season was halted because of the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Sam Hilliard takes first pitch in the dirt. Blomgren was a baseball-basketball athlete at Craig High School in Janesville, Wisconsin, and then he started 137 of 141 games for the U of M squad that grew into the best in the nation. Of course, you get speed, size, and metrics from scouting reports, but not those intangibles like makeup, instincts, or offensive patience. Hilliard fouls and out of play. Bat speed, average running speed, arm strength, lack of power hitting was one of the concerns perhaps about Blomgren. There's a line drive foul by Hilliard. Rockies Vice President of Scouting Bill Schmidt, his son Matt Schmidt played for U of M. He signed with the Royals as an undrafted free agent. Royals who are playing now, everything's coming full circle. But Bill Schmidt, Rockies VP of Scouting, not only saw Blomgren play, but he got to know him during the Cape Cod League. Because of injury, Blomgren played only 2 games, but Schmidt gained some insight, and Schmidt said what Blomgren has inside of him is real special. Tough competitor, all about winning, about making other people around him better. That's been a key for the Rockies when they've been scouting guys. Hilliard swings and lifts a high fly ball to deep right field, and he has done it again. Home run for Sam Hilliard, his 6th of the year, his 4th in as many games. And just like that, the Rockies take a 1-0 lead. This is some kind of stretch at the plate for Sam Hilliard. 5 runs batted in yesterday, already 1 today, as he deposits this pitch from Philmeyer. Take a look at the show track on this one. 399 feet, 100.5 mile per hour exit velocity. No doubt about that one off the bat of Hilliard, and that will bring up Drew Butera now. first pitch is taken for a strike on the inside corner. So again, Bill Schmidt, VP of Scouting for the Rockies, said about Blomgren that he's a real steady player on the field, nothing real flashy, but when he gets between the lines, he's trying to beat you. Size comparison was made from Blomgren to Garrett Hampson. Both of them have on-base tools. Hampson is faster, but he's faster than a lot of people, I would say. There's a swing and a line drive towards right center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. And Phillips over to cut it off. That'll be a 2-out single for Drew Butera. Look at Chichi Gonzalez, his first plate appearance of the day. Blomgren's sense of positioning and timing could allow him to stay at shortstop, but his skills can definitely transfer to other infield positions. Look at the MLB.com scouting report. It says he has a flat right-handed swing, sprays line drives to all fields as Chichi Gonzalez sprays one towards shallow right, but that'll be caught by Soler, and that'll retire the side. So Blomgren says he's developed his bat pretty rapidly, and he thinks with higher levels of coaching, being around better players, it's going to make him better overall. That's a ceiling for him. Sam Hilliard's home run makes it 1-0 Rockies after 2.
Leading up for Kansas City, the left fielder,
Alex Gordon keeps sticking around with the Royals, and he also keeps winning Gold Gloves. Won another Gold Glove last year for his work in left field. .250 average on the year, 9 homers, 31 driven in. A long-time Royals left fielder, played third base early on in his career. First pitch is swung on and fouled out of play. He's become a perennial Gold Glove caliber player in left, even though he is still getting up there in years. Alex Gordon just turned 36 on February the 10th. Out of Lincoln, Nebraska, went to University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Ended up going to, I believe the Kansas City Royals are the closest team there to Lincoln, Nebraska. In terms of distance, as there's strike 3 called. I will have to take a look at that to be sure, because I don't want Coors Field to be closer, and then I made that gaffe. Here's Brett Phillips. You can see hitting much better at home this year, .317, only .235 on the road. So swing and a line drive pulled foul. So 485 miles away from Lincoln is Coors Field from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Let's see how far Kauffman Stadium is. That is 249, so I was indeed correct. This is so relatively close to his hometown is where Alex Gordon plays his home games. 2-1 pitch here is going to miss low, 3 balls and a strike. Another guy the Rockies drafted was Case Williams. Patrick Saunders of the Denver Post had an article about him. Some said he was a bit of a surprise, his draft pick, but the Rockies knew him well. The ace from Douglas County. Mid-90s fastball, sharp curveball for Case Williams. Rockies were not surprised. Douglas County baseball coach Craig Gainger received final confirmation about his budding talent. 6'3", 225-pound senior right-handed pitcher. There's a ground ball to first base. Murphy goes the short way, one back to first, and not in time. And Williams was facing Bear Creek in a scrimmage, and it was a chilly day, and his fastball was hitting 96 miles per hour. And Gainger said their hitters are up at the plate kind of chuckling, saying they just don't know what to do with the stuff he's throwing at them, and his curveball was just unhittable. That's when assistant coach Kurt Williams looked at him and said, the sky's the limit. This kid is going high in the draft. And last week, the Rockies, or a couple weeks ago now, the Rockies drafted 18-year-old Williams in the 4th round, making him the 110th overall player selected. Joined Pine Creek's Ryan Warner and Greeley Central's Sean Chacon in the 3rd rounds, both of their drafts, 2012 and 1996 respectively. The only in-state pitchers the Rockies have selected in the first 4 rounds out of high school. And Saunders writes that the MLB Network and analysts that were covering the draft were a bit taken aback by Colorado's pick because Williams did not show up on MLB.com's lists of top 200 draft prospects, also did not make Baseball America's top 500 list. As a fly ball towards left field, making the catch is Dahl. That'll retire the side. We go to the bottom of the third, 1-0 Rockies. David Dahl will lead off the bottom of the third. Struck out his first time up on 3 pitches against Heath Fillmyer. First pitch here is taken high, ball 1. So draft gurus a bit surprised, but not necessarily Williams. He had committed to Santa Clara. Case Williams had committed to Santa Clara University before he signed with the Rockies Wednesday. Got a $450,000 signing bonus, but Williams said, at this point, it doesn't matter, and he wouldn't say he's mad about where he was placed in the pre-draft rankings, but it was just weird because he knew it wasn't true. He knew he could pitch. His father, Pete Williams, said he's really focused. He and his mom and dad didn't have to urge him to do much homework. He just did it. Got good grades, had a 3.9 GPA. Knew what it took to get stronger and better, took it upon himself to do it. Always been that way, his father, Pete Williams, said. There's a strike to Dahl, count evens at 2. Over the last 18 months, word got out about the strapping right-hander from Colorado, and scouts began showing up to games. And they decided to hone their radar guns in on his pitches. That led to them asking questions about character, competitiveness, and toughness. This is going to be yet another double for David Dahl, who is over 30 now on the year in June 22nd. 32nd double for Dahl. You can see Charlie Blackmon's trying to catch up to him at 27. Nolan Arenado also an impressive 24. 19 for Trevor Story and Ryan McMahon. 17 for Daniel Murphy and 8 for Chris Owings are the Rockies' leaders. But David Dahl has been in another category in terms of the doubles he's hit this year. Daniel Murphy flied out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Dinger encouraging Daniel Murphy to bring home the runner. Dahl in scoring position with nobody out, extend the Rockies' lead here in the first game of the series against the Royals. So once those scouts notice some of that talent, they start asking questions about character, competitiveness, toughness. Gainger recalled one scout saying to him, "What have you got?" Trying to punch holes in this kid. There's a fly ball towards right center field, hit fairly well going back, and this one is Phillips. That ball's off the wall. Dahl had to hold up. He will be waved around third. Murphy's into second with a double, and the throw to the plate is not going to be in time. RBI double for Daniel Murphy, and David Dahl will score. 18th double of the year for Daniel Murphy, makes it 2-0 Rockies. So Gainger ended up telling the scout, punch holes in the kid. That's hard to do. This kid's got it together. The scout said, my one question is, can he handle adversity? And Gainger said, yes. He turns adversity around and uses it to his advantage. The scout asked him, what's he going to be like when he goes into a room with a bunch of 22-year-old college kids, a bunch of guys from the Dominican Republic? How's he going to be then? So Gainger, he pitched in the Oakland A's minor league system in 1992 to 93, and here's what he had to say. He said, listen, Case knows who he is. He knows what he wants. He's not going to be swayed by any of that. He's very mature and level-headed. And Bill Schmidt, Rockies VP of Scouting, noted how calm Williams was last summer at the Area Code Games, which is a major evaluation event in Long Beach, California. There's a ground ball. Nice pick by Dozier. Throws to first and gets Blackmon for out number 1. Murphy will have to hold. That was a very nice play. That'll bring up Nolan Arenado. Struck out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. So here's what Schmidt had to say about the Area Code Games. He said, if you ever go there, you'd see maybe 500 scouts sitting behind home plate with radar guns. It can be a little bit intimidating, but Case Williams, it did not phase. The good stuff of Williams helped. He has a 4-seam and a 2-seam fastball. Lately, the 4-seamer has been consistently clocked in the mid-90s, working on a changeup that is rated far above average for a high school senior. His best pitch is his 12-6 curveball. And Mark Johnson, who's a longtime coach at Cherry Creek, who was a pro scout for 38 years, says he has a chance to be a really good player. Nolan lines one off the pitcher, Philmeyer. It caroms over to the third baseman, Dozier, who throws to first for the out. That play will be scored 1-5-3. We'll see if Philmeyer is okay. That one got him flush. Perez out to the mound to check on him, but it looks like they're going to wave off the trainers, and tough guy out there is Philmeyer. He took a hot shot by Arenado off the leg. Ryan McMahon flied out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. First pitch misses outside, ball 1. Next pitch will be number 50 on the day for Heath Philmeyer. And that swung on and pulled foul. So Mark Johnson, longtime Cherry Creek coach, said that a lot of people underestimated Case Williams' breaking ball. That pitch ended up being a separator. It wasn't just the Rockies. Blue Jays and Reds also reportedly had a strong interest in Williams. McMahon pops one up. Second baseman will make the catch. That's Lopez, and that'll retire the side. Daniel Murphy with an RBI double extends the Rockies' lead. It's 2-0 through 3. Nicky Lopez leads off the top of the 4th inning. Chichi Gonzalez at 50 pitches. 2-0 Rockies. First pitch is a strike on the outside corner. That's in there for a called strike. Quickly 0-2 on Lopez. And swung on and lined towards center field. Coming in and playing it on a hop is Hilliard. That's a leadoff single for Lopez here in the top of the 4th. So over at the Denver Post also, Joe Nguyen ended up looking at how the national media graded Colorado's 2020 draft. Of course, the Rockies' big splash was selecting outfielder Zach Veen with the number 9 overall pick. So CBS Sports gave the Rockies an A, as they landed 3 players on CBS Sports Top 50. Veen, catcher Drew Romo, and right-hander Chris McMahon. They say Veen could mature into a middle-of-the-order hitter, Romo a defensive-minded reserve catcher or second-division starter, and McMahon either a 3-pitch starter or a reliever, depending on what his body permits. There's a high fly ball towards left field. Going back on this one is Dahl. He's looking up, and that ball is gone. 2-run home run for Jorge Soler. Soler power, and his 23rd of the season, has tied this game up at 2. And you knew that was going to be coming at some point in this series. You can tell by the sound of the crack of the bat when Soler hits them that they may be traveling a long way. Very loud sound. And this game is now tied at 2. Hunter Dozier, the batter, takes first pitch strike. Bleacher Reports gave the Rockies an A for their draft. Said they got that decent value with the selection of Drew Romo in the compensatory round A, and also third-round pick Sam Weatherly. But Veen and McMahon are the players who make it their draft class one of the best. So the scouts really like how the Rockies did here. And that's cool. They were able to get Case Williams, too, a guy who, in addition to the Rockies getting who scouts have considered to be some of the best players available, Rockies also got someone who they thought that they honed in on that other teams didn't necessarily do. SB Nation's Tyler Norton had some good words to say about Zach Veen. There's a high fly ball towards right field. On the run for this one is Blackman. He's going back. He's got it in range now. He'll put it away. That is out number 1. Pitch speed comparisons from tops today. Heath Philmeyer and Chichi Gonzalez have both topped out at 95 miles per hour. Tyler Norton said the Rockies went with the best available player with their 9th pick, taking prep outfielder Zach Veen. Said 18-year-old grew into his frame recently, 6'5", 200 pounds, and he is the prototypical big league slugger, perfect for today's game. He's a launch angle darling, lofting the ball with a great raw power, but he's prone to swing and miss. Best case scenario is he develops into an above-average corner outfielder. Fantasy Pros Bobby Sylvester gave the Rockies an A. ESPN's Kylie McDaniel had some mixed reviews, said Zach Veen was among his favorite picks, saying he was the consensus top prep player in the draft, narrowly edged out Robert Hassel for Kylie McDaniel's top prep player. But Veen checks so many boxes. This is a big projectable athlete with easy actions, big power projection, now performance, and promise for more. But Kylie McDaniel also listed Drew Romo as one of his head scratchers, saying questions on his bat, and prep catchers are the next riskiest demographic behind prep righties. So we'll see what happens there. Rockies probably could certainly use some additions in their catching force, though. Perhaps a good pick there. Baseball America was certainly pleased with how the Rockies did as Perez strikes out. Tracy Ringlesby of Sports Illustrated put together an article detailing how Baseball America analyzed the Rockies draft. What they said, here's some quick hits. We'll pick it up after this pitch to Franco. It's inside. Quick hits from Baseball America. They say, the Rockies coveted Zach Veen leading up to the draft, but never could have imagined him getting all the way to them at pick number 9. Dreaming about how Veen's power might play in Coors Field is enough to get anyone excited. And by taking high school catcher Drew Romo in the supplemental first round, the Rockies went with a risky demographic, but you'd have to go back to Austin Hedges to find a prep catcher as polished and refined behind the plate. Of course, Hedges has carved out a very good career for himself defensively with the Padres, not hitting a whole lot as of yet. And they say Colorado got good value in its second round with Chris McMahon. He was a first-round talent with a polished pitch mix, an impressive track record at Miami. As for Sam Weatherly, they say he has less starting track record to boast, but has an electric fastball-slider combination that could play in a bullpen. Case Williams, one of the better pitchers in a down year for Colorado, the state of Colorado. And then Jack Blomgren, a high-floor type without flashy tools, but a solid feel for both sides of the game. Chichi Gonzalez really racking up the strikeouts today. There he gets Michael Franco. Jorge Soler, though, with a two-run Soler-powered blast. Ties this game at 2. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Rockies manager Bud Black and pitching coach Steve Foster chatting about things. Chichi Gonzalez has given up a 2-run home run to Jorge Soler. That just happened in the top of the 4th inning. Otherwise, he's been striking out a lot of guys. Garrett Hampson will be the batter, leading things off in the bottom of the 4th, 0 for 1 on the day. Heath Fillmyer, his first pitch is swung on and lined right back up the box into center field, a base hit. Solid hitting has been the trend lately for Garrett Hampson for sure. And here is Sam Hilliard, hit 3 home runs yesterday. Already has 1 home run in 1 at-bat today. First pitch is taken for a strike. So up to 877 with that OPS now. His batting average is only at 222 and OBP of 290, but the slugging is going to climb above 600 before we know it here. Garrett Hampson draws a throw. Very good speed over at first base in the form of Garrett Hampson. Coming up in the 6th inning, after we look at scores around baseball in the 5th inning, we'll take a look at where things stand in terms of negotiations between Major League Baseball and the MLBPA in attempts to restart the season. For now, we're tied at 2. Home run for Sam Hilliard today, as well as an RBI double for Daniel Murphy. 2-run home run for Jorge Soler. That is why we are tied at 2. That swung on and yanked foul by Hilliard, 1-2 the count. 1-2 from Fillmyer is swung on and grounded to third, to second for 1, back to first, and got him a double play. Two away now for the Rockies, and that will bring up Drew Butera. have a nice friendly chat with his former battery mates. Not battery mate, his former fellow catcher on the same team, Salvador Perez, fellow catcher mate. Gutierrez swings and lines one towards right center field. This is a long run, and Phillips will run it down with his long strides, and that'll retire the side. We are through 4 innings. We're tied at 2 Royals and Rockies. The bottom of the order is due up for Kansas City in the 5th. Alex Gordon leads off the top of the 5th inning. Chichi Gonzalez at 75 pitches is out for another inning of work. Antonio Senzatella and Jeff Hoffman are both warming up in the bullpen in case their services are required. Hopefully for Bud Black, we can get a solid 5th inning out of Chichi Gonzalez. They are the 2 long relievers for the Rockies up in the pen. Pitch misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Chichi shakes. It's the sign he likes into his motion. 1-1 is swung on and fouled back to the screen. Check some scores around baseball here in the 5th inning. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. 8th inning. Phillies lead the Braves 8-7. Roman Quinn has hit his 2nd home run of the year for Philadelphia. Johan Camargo home run number 2 for the Braves. In the 5th inning, Dodgers and D-backs are tied at 2. Eighth inning, Orioles and Yankees are tied at 1. Wonder if Gleyber Torres has gotten any chances to hit home runs lately. Aaron Judge has the 1 home run of that game, 24th of the year. White Sox lead the Tigers 6-4 in the 5th. Edwin Encarnacion has hit his whopping 32nd home run for the White Sox. 5th inning, Twins and Astros are tied at 1. Williams Astudillo has hit a home run, his 5th of the year for Minnesota. 2nd inning, Red Sox lead the Angels 2-0. Mitch Moreland has his 8th home run of the season for Boston. Just underway in Seattle, Rangers and Mariners are scoreless in the 2nd inning. So pitch low.
The pitcher, number 49.
Brett Phillips draws a walk, and he will be on with a bunting opportunity now for Heath Fillmyer. But Bud Black will be out to make a pitching change. Only 2 runs given up today by Chichi Gonzalez. He is not in line to win this ball game. Best he can hope for is a no decision. And Rockies offense will be trying to get things going for him as this game progresses. New pitcher will be Jeff Hoffman, making his 36th appearance, 4-0 his record, 43 strikeouts and 20 walks in 61 innings, has a 5.61 ERA. You can see righties and lefties both hitting fairly well against him, 288 and 289. So essentially the same in terms of their batting averages against. Here is the pitcher, Heath Fillmyer. Grounded out his first time up. That was his first at-bat of the season. Of course, pitchers do not bat in American League ballparks, and it looks like they may not bat in National League ballparks for the next couple seasons anyway. There's a ground ball to first base bunt. Murphy goes to second for one back to first and not in time. Murphy likes to try and get that lead runner no matter how close it appears to be, and both times he's tried today it has worked out for him. And Fillmyer will reach at first base. It's always good to have the pitcher on the base paths instead of a quicker runner like Brett Phillips. There's Alberto Mondesi, 0 for 2 strikeout and a flyout on the day as the lineup turns over. 34 runs scored for him on the year. 234 is batting average. Of course, you would like to see, the old adage goes, you can't steal first base. We'd like to see him get on base a little more with the Royals to make usage of his speed. First pitch is a strike. 84-mile-an-hour fastball from Hoffman. And that swung on and missed quickly. 0-2. That one's going to miss down and in. 1-2 from Hoffman is a check swing and a pitch outside, appeal to third, and he did not go. Hoffman comes set, gets ready to deliver his 2-2 pitch. And it's swung on and missed. He got him on strikes, and that'll retire the side. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Rockies looking to get some offense going. They have the pitcher spot, then Dahl and Murphy due up in a game that's tied at 2. Trevor Story will be called upon to pinch hit. Hitting .253 on the year, 18 home runs, a 318 on base percentage. Does have those very solid power numbers. In fact, he has hit a couple home runs in his last 2 games. Heath Fillmyer out for a 5th inning of work. First pitch to Story is swung on and ripped towards the gap in left center field. That ball is going to be gone. Home run of the pinch hit variety for Trevor Story. His 19th of the year, and the Rockies take a 3-2 lead. Story did not waste any time in that pinch hit appearance, getting the first pitch he liked and driving out of the park. Now, 3 straight games with home runs for Trevor Story. Lineup will turn over now for David Dahl. And let's not stop there. So David Dahl takes first pitch high, ball 1. 1 for 2 double and a run scored today for Dahl. His 32nd double of the year. 779 is OPS now. Continues to climb. Dahl looking a little better as of late at the plate. Takes a pitch, called a strike, maybe just below the knees. Lopez the righty and Skoglund the lefty are warming up in the Royals bullpen, as Fillmyer is now in line to take the loss if the Royals cannot answer back. Pitch to Dahl is a broken bat, pop up, and it's going to land in foul territory. Dahl will get a new piece of lumber. And now he'll wait on a 1-2 pitch from Fillmyer. One's taken in the dirt, count evens at 2. Two-two pitch. Swung on and chopped foul. We will do it again. It's inside, and the count goes full with Daniel Murphy waiting on deck. Payoff pitch to Dahl is swung on and chopped foul. This has been a rather lengthy plate appearance for the Rockies left fielder. And swung on in line towards left field on the run for this one. That ball is going to get down and bang off the wall. Number 33, 33rd double of the year for David Dahl. Gordon could not retrieve that one. Doubles machine, David doubles. And here is Daniel Murphy, still nobody out. 1 for 2 RBI double for him in this ball game. 4 home runs, 20 runs batted in, and Dinger's getting greedy. He does not want the Rockies offense to stop scoring here. Another runner in scoring position for Daniel Murphy. Last time there was a runner in scoring position, Murphy brought them home on a double. He swings and grounds one into right field, a base hit. Dahl will be held at third, and there are runners on the corners, nobody out for the Rockies. Starting perhaps lose control of things is Fillmyer. See how much longer they want to go with him. And they will let him face Charlie Blackmon. Still runners on the corners and nobody out for the Rockies. First pitch is going to miss outside, ball 1. Mike Matheny is the new Royals manager after Ned Yost decided to pack it in for his career. So certainly a good tenure in a Royals uniform for Yost. Line drive, base it into left field. Dahl will score. RBI single for Charlie Blackmon. 4-2 Rockies. Murphy moves up to second. And the line will keep moving. Nolan Arenado will come to the plate. But Matheny will be out to make a pitching change. Former Cardinals manager. That'll be the end of the day for Heath Fillmyer, has allowed at least 4 runs. There are a couple on that are still his responsibility as Nolan Arenado comes to the plate. And Arenado is going to face Jorge Lopez. This is only his second game of the year. Pitched 3 innings in his initial appearance. Had a strikeout and 2 walks. A couple hits to some left-handed batters. No hits to righties yet. Nolan Arenado will try to bring home that first hit for the righties. First pitch misses. Arenado 0 for 2, strikeout and a ground out. Better be careful or his batting average might dip below 333. The 1-0 is swung on and missed. Runners are trying to take off on double steals, and out at third base, it's going to be Murphy. Blackmon will move up to second. There's 1 away now. Arenado takes a strike.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
It's going to miss low, and the count evens at 2. Swing and a miss. Foul tipped into the glove of Perez, and just like that, there are 2 outs.
The batter number 24, second baseman,
Ryan McMahon will be the batter. Jesse Hahn and Eric Skoglund, righty and lefty, both up in the Royals bullpen. McMahon swings, grounds one up the middle. Long jump throw there by Lopez, and got him. Nice play by Nicky Lopez. Rockies get a couple more. They lead at 4-2 after 5. James Pazos has really been on a good stretch of pitching lately. This is his 41st game of the year, 42 1/3 innings. His ERA has dropped down to 3.83. Nicky Lopez leads things off as Antonio Senzatella and Tim Collins are both up in the Rockies bullpen. A lefty-on-lefty matchup to start things off here in the top of the 6th. First pitch is swung on and missed. So Ken Rosenthal and Evan Drellich have both done a great job of covering the negotiations between Major League Baseball and the MLBPA during this suspension of play for the Athletic. So you'd think it would be easy to come to a midpoint, right? Players have a proposal for a 70-game season. The owners offer for 60 games. Split the difference at 65, we're good to go. Now, both sides made offers that met the players' demand for full prorated salaries. That's a sign of progress for sure. But owners feel they extended themselves with their 60-game proposal, not just on salaries, but they made more concessions. In fact, the owners believe they were on the cusp of a deal when Commissioner Rob Manfred and Union head Tony Clark worked through that offer during a face-to-face in Arizona on Tuesday night. The Union rejected that notion with 2 statements on Thursday. There's a pop-up. Butera, helping under it, makes the catch in foul territory, 1 away. So here's what Yankees president Randy Levine had to say. He was the league's lead negotiator coming out of the 1994-95 strike. He said, "Here's what I told Rob Manfred today. As I've said, I have great respect for the players. I just do not think we can reach agreement on the number of games." He said he thinks that March 26 agreement recognized that the commissioner has the right to set the schedule, so what he would do if he was the commissioner, and this is what Levine advised him to do, is this. Hear the players saying where and when we're ready to play. We agreed to pay them 100% pro rata rate of their salary, so you should just say we're finished talking about the number of games. So the league is sure to reject the union's latest proposal, under which the regular season would last from July 19 to September 30. Offer also included expanded playoffs this year and next year, as well as 2 other big changes: designated hitter in both leagues, as the league had also proposed, and the ability for teams to sell advertising on uniforms. Players also proposed that both sides would waive their right to any grievance over the length of the season or any aspect of the March agreement, which set the framework for these discussions. The owners are keen on avoiding such a grievance, which could cost them hundreds of millions of dollars. Though, hey, if you're doing the right thing, I would think you wouldn't have to worry about a grievance ending up not in your favor. But well. Again, that midpoint of 65 games might just not be good for owners. What they would want to do is Soler swings and hits one down the left field line, hooking, and that ball's foul. Nearly the second home run of the game for Jorge Soler. The players want as many games as possible to justify the concessions they proposed with their 70-game season, which was the waiving of grievances and the expanded postseason. Those are chief among the deals for them. But the expanded postseason, yeah, I believe that's something the owners would be pretty interested in, as that is a big bringer in of money. Ground ball foul. But the union's problem with the 60-game proposal is that ultimately the number of games is not much greater than the number the league would implement in a schedule of its choosing. The power vested in Manfred by the March agreement, the season in that event would likely be 50 games or so. Every game added to a proposed season adds $25 million in total player compensation. The difference of 10 games between the proposals makes for a difference of $250 million then. That's before other elements of the deal are considered. Soler draws a walk. So even though both sides ultimately want a new deal, and there certainly has been progress made, the owners might not be willing to play much more than 60 games at full prorated salaries. Players might not be willing to waive their right to the grievance for much fewer than 70, at least not without other changes that could impact the willingness on either side. But players are not all that happy with Manfred right now. They believe he has tried to villainize them publicly. They also took exception with him saying their 60-game framework he discussed with Clark could form the basis of an agreement. Players viewed it as a proposal. One player said Thursday of Manfred and the owners, players think they have their PhD, player hater degree. Fly ball towards fairly deep center field, going back on this one, making the catch is Hilliard, and that is out number 2, long out number 2. You know, the commissioner's office likewise is questioning union leadership and tactics. They believe the players are setting moving targets. And the league was apparently taken aback by the union's request for 70 games, after thinking Clark was prepared to sell 60 to the players. And the union, in its proposal, asked for additional benefits, including an unknown level of forgiveness for the $170 million advance the players received. The league had proposed $33 million. So, ground ball hit to first base. Murphy takes it himself. That'll retire the side. Other benefits would be a $50 million postseason pool, twice what the league offered if a full playoff is staged this year, and a 50-50 split of incremental TV revenues for additional postseason games in 2021. Garrett Hampson leads off the bottom of the 6th, 4-2 Rockies. Continuing to talk about how Ken Rosenthal and Evan Drellich have described the latest in the negotiations between Major League Baseball and the MLBPA. Players also offer the clubs certain benefits, including the permission to sell advertisements on uniforms, a neutral site quarantine framework if needed to maximize the likelihood of the 2020 postseason, and a $50 million transfer from the Joint International Tax Fund to the Commissioner's discretionary fund. But as the union countered, the fallout from the 4-hour meeting between Clark and Manfred in Arizona on Tuesday lingered. This agreement tempered what was otherwise a sense of progress as we entered the day on Wednesday. The sides were no longer fighting over whether players should receive a per-game pay cut. Manfred on Thursday night said he didn't know what Tony and he were doing there for several hours, going back and forth and making trades that they weren't reaching an agreement. And Clark said on Thursday in a pair of statements, he said in his discussions with Rob Manfred in Arizona, they explored a potential pro-rata framework, but Tony Clark said he made it clear repeatedly in the meeting and after it that there were a number of significant issues with what he proposed, in particular the number of games. And he said it is unequivocally false to suggest that any tentative agreement or any other agreement was reached in that meeting. In fact, in conversations within the last 24 hours, Rob invited a counterproposal for more games that he would take back to the owners, and they submitted that counterproposal. Under that proposal, spring training would start in a little more than a week, in the June 26 to 28 range. So close, but yet so far away. Phillips is going to overrun this ball. And Sam Hilliard's going to have himself a double, his 4th double of the year. Rockies entering play today, so they've added on a few. They're up to 175 doubles now, I believe, which is far and away the best in the NL. Sam Hilliard has one. David Dahl has 2 today, with his league-leading 33 now. And Daniel Murphy also has a double. Here's Drew Butera. First pitch is taken for a strike. But Joel Sherman of the New York Post proposed that there should be a court stenographer in the room when Tony Clark and Rob Manfred have these debates. And as Sherman puts it, as we have learned with these two sides, they are never going to agree, even on what they supposedly have agreed upon. One man's framework is another's proposal. The difference in interpretations creates a gulf wide enough to trash a sport in, is how Sherman writes it. Sherman suggests they should either have a written record of everything that the two sides say to each other, a lesson that should have been learned when they began clashing about what exactly was in their March 26 agreement and what was verbally understood about it, or just make negotiations pay-per-view. Not only would that create a public record of the talks, but just might generate the funds to restart the season. That's hit in the air towards center field. Phillips going back. He will make the catch for out number 2. Hilliard will have to hold. And we'll have a pinch hitter. It'll be Josh Fuentes. 182 on the year, 245 on base percentage. Not a whole lot of action for Fuentes. First pitch is inside, ball 1. According to Craig Calcaterra of NBC Sports, the owners are stalling. He said it's harder to take Rob Manfred's claim that he thought he had a deal on Wednesday seriously. There's a fly ball towards shallow right field. Coming in and making the catch on this one is Soler, and that'll retire the side. After 6 innings, it's 4-2 Rockies. And Calcaterra said it's harder to take that claim seriously because the player said Wednesday afternoon that there was no deal, and Manfred's own statement on Wednesday acknowledged as much.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Rockies.
Tim Collins, new pitcher for the Rockies as we start off the 7th inning.
Leading up for Kansas City, the first baseman, number 7,
Michael Franco will lead things off. 4-2 Rockies.
Ball 1, no strike.
First pitch misses low. Collins has largely been solid in his appearances this year. Has started to give up a few more home runs than usual as of late. 1-0 is swung on and lifted in the air towards right field. Going back on this one is Blackman. He has it in range in front of the track. That is out number 1.
The left fielder,
Alex Gordon will be the batter. He is 0 for 2 on the day, has struck out twice. Collins kicks and fires. That pitch is high, ball 1. One 0 from Collins is swung on and missed. Swing and a miss for strike 2. And trying to avoid the hat trick now will be Alex Gordon. That one is high, and the count evens at 2. 96-mile-an-hour fastball from Collins. Two-two pitch, swung on and foul. Just getting a piece of that one was Alex Gordon. And swing and a miss, he got him on strikes. Third time today, Gordon has gone down on strikes. And there are 2 away.
Now batting, the center fielder, Brett Phillips.
Brett Phillips, the batter. Collins into his motion windup, and his first pitch is going to miss in the dirt.
1-0.
Phillips, not any official at bat today. He's just drawn 2 walks in 2 plate appearances. Lefty on lefty matchup favoring Collins. The 1-0 delivery is swung on and grounded toward short. On the backhand is Hampson, throws to first, and that is out number 3. 7th inning stretch time. The one and only Corey Shembry will sing the 7th inning stretch for us. Then the Rockies at the top of the order due up. They lead it 4-2.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, 'cause it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, 'cause it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
David Dahl, 2 for 3, 2 doubles, number 32 and number 33 on the year. He's also scored 2 runs today. 4-2 Rockies in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch to Dahl is taken for a strike on the outside corner. Action, McCarthy and Stomont up in the Royals bullpen. Dahl swings and fouls it out of play. He's quickly down 0-2. Lopez out for a 3rd inning of work for the Royals. His 0-2 to Dahl is taken high, ball 1. Largely, Lopez has stopped the bleeding. Royals have certainly been kept in this ball game. Swinging a line drive toward center field. That ball is going to drop for a base hit. 3rd hit of the day for David Dahl. Good to see for him. The Dahl and Murphy combination can get going. Rockies' offense can certainly be a lethal one. Here is Daniel Murphy now. At least over the past several games, they certainly have both gotten it going at the same time. Pitches a strike.
0-1's the count.
Murphy 2 for 3 doubles, single RBI for him today. It's going to miss low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mike Matheny, Royals manager, laying down the signs. First year as the Royals manager after Nadios hung it up. Murphy flares one towards shallow center field, going out as the shortstop. Mondesi will make the catch, and there's one away.
The right fielder, number 19,
Charlie Blackmon will be the batter. He is 1 for 2, single and RBI on the day, also has drawn a walk. First pitch is swung on and pulled foul. Dahl was in motion. Comes the 30th pitch of the day for Lopez in relief. It's taken on the outside corner. Quickly 0-2 on Blackmon.
Count 0-2.
And check swing, and either way, Blackmon called on strikes. There are 2 down. And Nolan Arenado, the batter. One of the quieter members of the offense today. Not usually the story for Nolan Arenado. He's 0 for 3. Look at that 1063 OPS on the year. Looking imminent that Arenado will be the starting third baseman for the simulated All-Star game this year for the NL. See who could join him among reserves. First pitch is a strike of the knees, as it looks like Story's up in the running. So is Charlie Blackmon, Ryan McMahon, but it doesn't look like any of them are going to be starters at this time. Certainly could be reserves, though. 0-1 pitch to Arenado is swung on and missed. He's quickly down 0-2. I don't think we'll see any pitchers. Perhaps Tyler Kinley. Might be a long shot, though. I think they usually would like to go with more of closers for the relievers they choose for the All-Star game. Swing and a miss. Arenado's down on strikes. And that'll retire the side. Lopez ends up doing some pretty good work in his 3 innings. Rockies have a 4-2 lead after 7.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Wade Davis will take over in the 8th inning. He's actually been a little bit better as of late. 7.71 ERA, but let's remind you that has come down. This is his 38th game of the year. He's going to face a pinch hitter to begin things. It'll be Whit Merrifield. 305, 358 on base percentage, 4 home runs, 43 runs batted in. Doesn't hit for a whole lot of home run power necessarily, but gets a lot of hits, a lot of doubles as well. First pitch from Davis is inside, ball 1. 21,324 in attendance tonight at Coors Field. Davis, his 1-0 pitch is in there for a called strike. When you look at some of the advanced metrics for Davis, some of the peripherals, you look at the strikeout rate, the walk rate, the home run rate, you would not infer from that Davis's ERA would be where it is right now. There's a bunt, and it's going to go foul. Merrifield trying to get something going for the Royals by attempting to lead things off with a bunt here in the top of the 8th. 4-2 Rockies is the score. It's a pitch outside, kind of evens at 2. Scores around baseball. Cardinals have beat the Marlins 4-2. Carlos Martinez getting the win for St. Louis. His 9th. Pitch outside, full count now on Merrifield. Miguel Rojas hit his 8th home run in the losing cause for Miami. Final, Phillies have beaten the Braves 8-7. There's a line drive towards the gap in right center field. That ball is going to get down and bang off the wall. Blackmon over to cut it off. Decent speed for Merrifield, and he will take a wide turn, but he will hold with a double to lead things off here in the top of the 8th. 21st double of the year for Merrifield. And the tying run will now come to the plate for Kansas City. It's going to be Adalberto Mondesi 0 for 3 in this game. Yankees beat the Orioles 2-1. That is a final. Eighth inning, White Sox lead the Tigers 8-6. Edwin Encarnacion has hit another home run, so he now has 33 on the year. We're not even at the All-Star break yet, folks. Twins have a 6-2 lead over the Astros. Marcus Semien has homered for the Twins. He was involved in a trade with the A's a couple weeks ago in our simulation. And Angels lead the Red Sox 3-2 there in the fifth. Mariners lead the Rangers 3-2 in the fifth inning. Rougned Odor has hit his 9th home run of the year for Texas. Pitch outside, 2-1 the count now. On Mondesi. That's going to miss outside, 3 balls and a strike. Nicky Lopez is waiting on deck. And swinging a ground ball picked by Arenado, throws to first. That's out number 1. Starter comparisons today. Chichi Gonzalez went 4 in the third innings. Struck out 7. That was very good. 2 walks, 2 runs on 2 hits. Heath Fillmyer struck out 2, walked 1, gave up 4 runs on 9 hits. Just a tad bit better for Chichi Gonzalez today, but neither will of those... Chichi Gonzalez will not factor into this decision. Heath Fillmyer is in line for a loss. Nicky Lopez 1 for 2. Single and a run scored today. First pitch from Davis is taken high, ball 1. Lopez only batting 100 on the year with runners in the scoring position. It'd be a small sample, though. Could very well be 1 for 10. There's a swing and a high fly ball towards left field. On the run for this one. Getting there is Dahl. He'll make the catch for out number 2.
Now batting, right fielder, Jorge Soler.
And Jorge Soler will be the batter. 1 for 2, a 2-run home run back in the 4th inning. Also has a walk, nearly hit another home run. Just was able to tuck it foul down the left field line a couple at bats ago. First pitch from Davis here is taken in the dirt. That'll be blocked and kept in front of Butera. Merrifield has 12 stolen bases on the year. He's on second right now. Swung on and missed, 1-1. Merrifield with his pinch hit double led off this 8th inning. And that swung on and grounded foul. So Davis just a strike away from getting out of trouble here now. Still is a rather disconcerting situation with Jorge Soler representing the potential tying run at the plate here in the 8th. And there's a swing and a ground ball foul. The 1-2 from Davis is strike 3 called. Got him on strikes. And that will retire the side. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Rockies looking for some more insurance. Can never have too much. 4-2 Colorado. Kevin McCarthy, new pitcher for the Royals, 32nd game of the year, 5.93 ERA, 27 in the third innings, 23 strikeouts, 12 walks. It's been on the high side in terms of walks. Righties have hit him a third of the time. First batter he will face is Ryan McMahon, 0 for 3 on the day.
The second baseman, Ryan McMahon.
And McCarthy gets ready to deliver his first pitch. Taken for a strike at the knees. More scores around baseball. It's the 8th inning. Blue Jays lead the Brewers in interleague action. Man fouls one off. It's 0-2 the count on him. And swinging the ground ball hit up the middle, ranging over is Mondesi. Throws to first. That's out number 1. Nationals beat the Pirates 3-1. Sean Doolittle getting the win. Nick Birdie the loss. Chris Archer went 7 innings, gave up 1 run and struck out 8. Patrick Corbin went 8 innings. Didn't allow a single run, 5 hits, 8 strikeouts. Good for him. Not a full slate of action around baseball today. A few days off around the game. Garrett Hampson takes a pitch low, 1-0. It's going to miss, 2-0. To Hampson is swung on and grounded up the middle into center field, a base hit. Another solid piece of hitting for Garrett Hampson. See if he will try and steal a base here now. Extra innings now. It looks like the Yankees have beat the Orioles 2-1 in 11. Throw to first to drive back Hampson. I keep seeing that scroll across the screen. Akil Baddoo, I guess, is who hit his first Major League home run, simulated home run for the Tigers. He, at last check, was with the Class A Advanced at the Lakeland Flying Tigers, but I guess he was deemed ready for a call-up here in the simulation. Another throw to first to try back Hampson. One-0 pitch is swung on and lined right into the glove of the first baseman, Franco. They're 2 away. Able to get back is Hampson. And Drew Butera will get another opportunity. He's 1 for 3, base hit in the second inning. 204 his average, 1 home run, 6 runs batted in this year. Largely getting the action against right-handed pitchers. Elias Diaz against lefties. Both hit from the right side of the plate, but it's been working as a platoon. Diaz may be getting a little bit more of the primary action, not just against the lefties, but also the primary catcher for Kyle Freeland, of course. Butera swings and pulls one foul. Butera really has done a decent job, though, with the bat. He's held his own. I know the 204 batting average, the on-base percentage, though, is up there, up over a third of the time getting on base for Butera, and he's certainly not looked lost at the plate. So he's been doing about what the Rockies need him to. Tony Walters still struggling a little bit down in AAA. There's a pitch in the dirt, and Hampson will hold as Perez is able to block that one. McCarthy comes set as 2-1, is swung on and a line towards right field. That ball's going to get down and go to the corner. Hampson with his wheel should be able to score on this one, and he will. That's an RBI double for Drew Butera. Hampson scores 5-2 Rockies. And some insurance. That's the second double this year for Butera. And Chris Owings is going to have a pinch hit appearance, hitting .238 on the year. No home runs, 12 runs batted in. On base .316, his percentage OBP. First pitch is taken for a strike. That one's going to miss low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Owings is batting .321 on the year with runners in scoring position. That's going to miss low. Hitters count now on Chris Owings. It's going to miss inside. 3 balls and a strike. David Dahl is waiting on deck, hoping to get yet another opportunity. He's got his batting average up to .263 with a few hits today, 2 doubles, adding to his league-leading 33. 3-1 to Owings is going to miss low ball 4. He walked him. And David Dahl will indeed get another opportunity. 3 for 4, 2 doubles, a single, 2 runs scored on the day for David Dahl. And he takes first pitch strike. Dahl batting .333 on the year with runners in scoring position. Much better than his overall batting average. Certainly coming through in the clutch. The 0-1 is taken outside. And that one's going to miss inside. Hitter's count now on David Dahl. McCarthy comes set. Looks over his shoulder. And his 2-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Lights are on at Coors Field as we head into the recesses of the evening. Two-two pitch is high and the count goes full as McCarthy struggling with command a little bit. Daniel Murphy is waiting on deck. He's had a very good day at the plate as well. It will be a payoff pitch coming to David Dahl. And swung on and grounded towards short on the backhand. Mondesi fires to first, and that'll retire the side. We go to the 9th. Tributera's RBI double extends the Rockies' lead to 5-2. Scott Oberg hasn't pitched in a week. Hasn't been many save opportunities for him. He will try and get one today. 5-2 Rockies going to the 9th.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Now pitching for the Rockies.
Scott Oberg has converted 9 of 10 save opportunities. 19th game, 15 innings, 20 strikeouts, 12 walks, 2.40 ERA. Hardly anybody getting any sort of hit off of him whatsoever. Batting average against righties and lefties are both under the 150 mark. Those walks are high, but let me tell you, he has brought them down. Since he returned from the injured list, it's only been a few appearances, but he hasn't walked a single batter. So the fact that it's still over 7 per 9 innings tells you just how much of a trouble Oberg was having with walks. But he seems to have settled down lately, and that leads me to suspect that perhaps some of the wrist concerns before he was put on the IL, perhaps that wrist was causing him some trouble earlier than we had thought. There's a pitch inside. The 1-1 coming to Hunter Dozier is low and in the dirt. Hitter's count now. Also hoping Oberg isn't too rusty after a week off. So there weren't many opportunities for the setup men either. We saw Wade Davis and Tyler Kinley get in the ball game yesterday simply because they just had to get some work in. There's a swing and a miss. Count evens at 2. Two-two pitch. Swung on and fouled back and over the screen. Rockies just 3 outs away from a good start to this series, and hey, 2 games won in a row. Swing and a miss, got him on strikes. 96-mile-an-hour fastball from Oberg. That's out number 1.
The catcher, number 13, Salvador Perez.
And here is Salvador Perez, 0 for 3 on the day. Oh, 1 from Oberg is taken on the outside corner. Quickly 0-2 now on Perez. Swung on and grounded. That's foul down the third base line. And one more time, an 0-2 coming from Oberg. He kicks and deals. Swung on and missed. Got him on strikes. 2 down. Oberg strikes out the first 2 batters he faces here in his 9th.
The first baseman, number 7, Michael Franco.
Really good break on that one, and that will leave it up to Michael Franco, 0 for 3 in this game. Oberg just needs that one final out. His first pitch to Franco is taken inside, ball 1. Franco 0 for 7 in his career against Oberg. All that time with the Philadelphia Phillies. It's going to miss low, 2-0. The 2-0 from Oberg is swung on and missed. Oberg gets the sign he likes into his motion. Wind up and the 2-1 is swung on and chopped foul. Royals down to their final strike. Two-two pitch is high and the count goes full. Alex Gordon waiting on deck. He struck out 3 times today. And he will have an opportunity if Michael Franco can reach on this 3-2 offering, and it's swung on and hit fair down the left field line towards the corner. Picking it up out there is Dahl. His throw to second base is in time to get Franco, and that's the final out of the game. And Franco may have some words received from his manager for making the final out of the ball game, trying to stretch a single into a double. But no matter how you slice it, that is a Rockies win, their 2nd straight victory, and a good way to start this series against the Royals. The former Royals Wade Davis and Drew Butera both factoring into this ball game. Jeff Hoffman gets the win. He's 5-0. Heath Fillmyer the loss. He's 5-7. Scott Oberg picks up his 10th save. Royals get 2 runs on only 4 hits. It's quite a job by the Rockies pitching staff to hold the Royals to only 4 hits here at Coors Field, and Rockies get 5 runs on 13 hits. Player of the game for the 2nd straight game is going to be Sam Hilliard, who now has 4 home runs in his past 3 games today. He goes 2 for 4 with a homer and a double. David Dahl has a very good day at the plate. He goes 3 for 5 with 2 doubles, now has 33 on the year. He scores 2 runs. Trevor Story has a pinch hit solo home run. Drew Butera 2 for 4 with a double and an RBI. Daniel Murphy also had 3 hits today. Just can't fit everybody on that list there. Jeff Hoffman only pitches 2/3 of an inning. He gets the win. 2 runs are given up today by Chichi Gonzalez. Did not pitch poorly, just the pitch count was up there and he had to end his day a little early. Jeff Hoffman strikes out a batter. Heath Fillmyer in the loss, 4 innings, 4 runs on 9 hits, 2 strikeouts and a walk, and Scott Oberg in the save allows 1 hit but also strikes out 2 batters. Highlights on offense for the Royals. Jorge Soler goes 1 for 3 with a home run, 2 runs batted in. It was a 2-run shot. Whit Merrifield has a pinch hit double. Nicky Lopez 1 for 4 with a run scored. And Brett Phillips goes 0 for 1. He does draw a couple walks, though. Well, thank you for tuning in. And if the Rockies are in line to sweep this series, we will see you Wednesday. Otherwise, we'll see you on Friday when the Rockies head to Minnesota to face the first-place Twins. And we will definitely be looking forward to seeing some of the Twinkie Town fans joining us for our broadcast. Thank you for tuning in.